Why are we all just... Oh no.
Centered.
No, the picture is flipped. Oh my gosh. Hi, you guys.
Hi, all.
Good evening, witches. Oh my goodness.
Good evening, wishes, and
It's
blessed Imbolc.
Blessed Imbolc. I'm sorry, that's going to confuse me. So, you know, as it happens, sometimes we start up our stuff. We don't get to see what we look like ahead of time, and I don't think that I can change it now. So we are stuck being backwards to ourselves.
We're backwards to ourselves. Hopefully we're not backwards to you.
Hopefully not. So
whatever way we are, we're the right way.
Cheers to that, right?
Cheers to that.
I didn't pour my drink yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you have a drink, let's get this started with a little cheers.
A little cheersy.
Cheers.
Cheers to Imbolc. You know, this time of year is not that special. Most people don't celebrate it, but I love knowing that it's midwinter because spring is almost here. So I'm cheersing to bring on spring, bring on the warmth, you know?
Well, it's interesting that you say that most people don't celebrate because people may think of this as a single day, when in reality, this is actually a 6-week period. Imbolc starts the beginning. It's a season. Yeah. So Imbolc, all the witches' holidays have about 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks in between them. So there's 8 a year.
Yep.
And there's about 6 weeks in between, and they break up what's happening in the sky or in the seasons,
sky seasons, all accurate,
all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we have 6 weeks of as things are warming up. So we're just getting to the point now where
so
we're going to talk about this. Like at this point in the year, we know that the sun is coming back and the days are going to get longer and the days are going to get warmer. And that's what we're celebrating. We're like, oh my gosh,
bring on the sun.
Winter, yeah.
I love winter. This is both of us. We're chanting.
Listen, and it's been really cold here in Florida for
such an actual winter.
I have slippers on, okay?
Cat's dying.
And I'm layered. I'm layered up here. But this is the time when it's like, okay, we're only 6 weeks away from the first day of spring. Or right about there. Right about, I don't know if it's exactly 6 weeks. But
the next holiday is Astara, and that is the equinox. And so what we are in between right now, just for science clarifications, we're in between Yule, which is the longest night of the year, the shortest day of the year. So that is the solstice, the winter solstice. And our next holiday is the equinox, where night and day are equal. So because our ancestors like to drink and party and feast and have fun, they were like, that 3 months is too long. We need a holiday in the middle. And here is
Imbolc. Can you even imagine 200 years ago or even longer when life was really hard, living was, you worked for literally everything that you had, what you ate, where you lived, the whole 9 yards. So for them to go 3 whole months,
they needed to celebrate to keep it going.
Yeah, they needed something in the middle,
I think,
to break it up. So when you think about the things that we're going to talk about tonight, this is not something unlike full moon, new moon, where you have sort of like a 3 to 5 day period where you could fudge it. Either way, it's really probably 3 days, but you can fudge. Listen, I took a picture of the new moon in Capricorn, full moon in Capricorn, full moon in Leo. Sorry. And you know what? It was like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days after. And the moon was so big and so bright. It looked like a full moon. I took a video of it. It still looks really full.
Yeah.
I forgot what my point of that was. But
that we are not just celebrating a single day or a single event.
Yeah.
She says fudge it, but I just think that you can feel the energy of these things coming in and going out, right? So there's that ebb and flow of it all. And for each of us, it really is different. Like Selena says, she's over the cold this year. So are we. But it's nice to have a wet winter. Like we've been 4 years without a pretty wet winter. So Florida needs it. I'm trying to understand that. I'm like, yes, all my plants are happy and my ground is super soft and wet.
I'm kind of happy there's less bugs. Usually we're always battling the no-see-ums or the skeeters or whatever, something flying around trying to get in your house and sting you, bite you and all that stuff. So we've had some relief from that, which is pleasant.
It's okay.
But I'd rather have it warm. And I'm really pale. We're both very pale.
Yes. Where is the tan gone? Where is the tan?
We're so vain.
Now, no, I think warm skin. I love being in the sun. We're from Southern California.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just our hood.
Yeah.
We're in the sun hood. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we belong to. We're in that solar hood gang right there. Okay. The other thing about this time, you guys, what's really cool that connects together. So even if you don't know a lot about the witches' holidays, but you do understand more of the zodiac stuff, we are in Aquarius season right now. And one of the mottos for Aquarius is like to get things going, to make change, to set a new path, and Imbolc is sort of that same way. Whereas when we were in Yule and we were all ready to rest and just kind of recover from everything, now we've had that 6 weeks of rest and recovery, and we're starting to have to think about our future. What do we want for this year? And put our plans together and start planting the seeds. A good way to think about Imbolc is it's a time to plant seeds, whether that's for your dreams, career changes, house, move, whatever it is that you're looking for. But now is like putting in a little bit of work to plant the seed to start making it happen later on in the year. So I love that these two holidays really do line up as far as the zodiac energy with Aquarius, and then also Imbolc is the first signs of spring are coming. There are some flowers that actually poke through the snow.
And you want to know what's crazy is I just thought of this, so I'll share with you what I just did about a week ago. I bought a new bathing suit for the season. Now it's still a long ways off before I'm going to be able to
get in March, April.
Yeah, well, that feels like a long way away. But you may be doing things that inadvertently that you don't even realize are lining up with what you're going to be doing in the spring
in like 4 months, 4 or 5 months,
as we get closer to summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you're getting your beach balls and your beach things together, or your pool stuff, or your bathing suits. You're trying to lose
planning
vacations, all of those things. So that's, this is the time where we're looking forward to those longer, warmer days.
Definitely.
And just knowing that they're coming and rejoicing that we survived the winter, because a long time ago, many people, struggle to survive, to make it through with food and
the animals
and all of that. So, our ancestors, the ancients, they're the ones that had all these practices that in our modern world, we have warmth and heat and clothes and all that.
We can overlook it.
Most of us don't have to build our own houses and bring our animals in for the winter.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have animals unless they're cats and dogs.
And they come in. They do.
And they come in and stay in. Yeah.
So here is a little secret knowledge for you guys. If there are any Aquarius or Pisces babies, even technically Capricorn babies, you guys, including myself, I'm a Pisces baby. So this holiday is really associated with birth also. It makes me uncomfortable because I'm not a milk drinker. I'm not really a big dairy person, but milk is like a big thing for this holiday. I want you to know that I do not drink milk. I don't like it. I drink coconut milk or almond milk or something else. Or
did you know we don't really need milk?
No, you don't need milk after you're 2 years old.
You don't need milk unless I just read an article about this. Like, you don't need milk. Only babies need milk.
Yeah.
Like adults don't need milk.
And we don't have, like, the enzymes that we have to digest it are gone after that certain amount of time.
Which is why we started experiencing lactose intolerance. And you're like, what's the matter with my stomach? But anyway,
nerdy shit coming back around to you.
This is half witch, half science channel.
Always. So the interesting thing about this time of year when babies were born, it was first like the sheeps, goats kind of having their first young. So we were, as ancients, we were able to then get milk and start making cheese. So we had this other food that was all of a sudden available, which hadn't been available to us in months and months. But for the babies that are born during Cap and Aquarius and Pisces, I just want you guys to know that you were all conceived around the time of Beltane, which is a sexy fire holiday that, everybody in the village used to pretend like they didn't know each other, run off into the woods, and whoever you slept with, you slept with. And if you had a baby from that time, from that holiday, they actually had a name for it. And now I can't remember. I should have wrote that down, but at Beltane, I will tell you guys. But so these babies were considered like little magical beings because they happened in a time when everybody went off and let go of like all of their
inhibitions.
Yeah, inhibitions is probably a good word, but all of the societal structures that say you can only do this, you can only, whatever. So if you got pregnant during this and at Beltane time and you had a baby during this time, people were just like, Oh yeah, so that was really special. You got chosen, basically. There was sort of this thing. If you've ever seen a Midsummer Night Dream, it sort of plays hand in hand with the Midsummer and then also Beltane, where the whole
so that means you're one of those magical babies.
I am. I didn't know that. For the longest time, I didn't know that. So Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces.
Mary B. What?
Mary Begot. I don't know. There's a heart over it.
There's a heart.
Mary Begot.
Mary Begot.
Shoot.
There's
Tracy,
a heart there. Tracy,
I
we can't see the whole thing.
So sorry.
Mary Begot or Mary, yeah, maybe got.
See,
someone hearted it so fast it covered up your words, Tracy.
We weren't bastards. We were just like magical special children. Just saying. Okay, that was just a weird fact that I love to tell about this season. Again, it's just kind of magical to.
Well, and I can just tell you, when Jamie was conceived, it was very magical. So I'm just saying.
I'm glad that's as far as you went with that.
I'm not going to tell the rest of the story, but I remember when it happened. So, and it was magical.
Imagine your mom telling you your conception story.
Yeah, she's heard it before. You guys,
she's a Scorpio, you guys. So
you don't want to hear it.
No. I think we're going to move on. I would like to say hi to everybody. So Jenny, hi. Emerald, hi. Dana. I shouldn't have said after that. I was thinking whether which one to start with. You guys, I want to tell you some practices that I do, but I want to first preface with make whatever you decide to celebrate your own thing, and don't try to follow the books too closely on here's specific things that are for this time. If you need to do something, just use the holiday to surrender to the energy of now is the time to get something started. Now is the time for honoring whatever it is that you want to honor. You don't have to necessarily follow along with the old traditions by any means. Do something that makes sense for you instead of trying to fit this into your lifestyle.
Yeah. Which
I don't do because I was a witch before all these books were written. So I came up with my own stuff to do because I knew very little, very, very little about it. All right, so tonight I'm going to share with you some of my practices. Kat has a couple of things for show and tell as well. And these are ideas of things to do during this time to honor the energy of, new beginnings, of rebirth or transformation.
And just remember, when we say this time, we're talking about the next 6 weeks or so.
Yeah. Not tonight. You don't have to do
not tonight or this week or by Saturday or any of that. You're not under any pressure.
No pressure
to do something.
Yeah.
It's going to give you some ideas for what you can think about, and whatever appeals to you, or you wake up and you go oh yeah, I think I'm going to Valentine. So I'm going to let you start because Valentine's Day is coming. So yes. Jamie's going to share with you the first thing that she has to share.
Okay. If you guys like flowers, like roses or whatever, and you dry them like I do, because every single flower that I get in my house, I dry and leave out for ages. And my mom's like, what is that death smell up here? I have a certain place I dry them, and they do sort of have
I have that smell in my kitchen. I've been drying oranges and I'm like.
So I have some rose petals that are probably several years old, and it is time for them to go. But since I collected them, these are actually from my garden. Probably from 4 years ago. I had a lot of small tea rose plants. They are no longer with us. Florida killed them, but I have lots of flowers that I dried from them. So I've kept this jar for a long time. And as I'm resituating my office, I'm I need to use the herbs and dried stuff that I have now so that I can incorporate new stuff. Because over the holidays, I also got flowers, and Valentine's Day is coming up. So if you get flowers, this is an idea.
Roses, especially, yeah.
Roses are easy to dry. Your best bet is to hang them upside down while they're still looking good. That's my best advice for you. Cut their stem back a lot, wrap it in a rubber band, and hang it somewhere that gets a little bit of air. It doesn't need to be in a super bright place, but drying roses is pretty easy. And then I just crumple off the leaves and put it into jars like this. But for this purpose this year, because I want to let these rose petals go, I'm going to use them for something. I'm going to actually dedicate these roses towards, the bond and the love that I have with my husband, with my home, with my cats, with my kid, whatever, everything that's on my property. Because I'm going to show you how to set the intention for them. And then what I will do later that you won't see, I will sprinkle them around my property and just let them go back to the earth. It's not disrespectful. It doesn't mean anything bad. You just kind of let things happen the way that you want to. And that's what I chose to do with it. So you can't find that in a book, and that's why I say it. So with this, here is how you would put your energy into an item or a thing to give it purpose for you, because a lot of this is like repurposing stuff or giving stuff new life, the rebirth during this time. All I'm going to do is close my eyes and I picture, like from my aura, from my body, I picture red, purple, pink light sort of going into this and spinning all around the leaves and kind of like filling them with color and parts of my heart and soul that mean love. And I'm just like mentally imagining all of this happening inside of the jar. And so I know I'm going to say, you know, the rose petals that are in here represent the love and caring that I have for my home, my family, and the land around me and how I care for it. And so with that, later, probably I will like actually sit and meditate a little bit longer. I don't do things that fast, with a candle or something, just very simple to say, like, I'm going to spread these with intention around my property, telling my property, like, this is to pay it back. I love you. I love my house. I love my home. I love all the things that happen here. That is how you would imbue energy into something.
It's, you know, when people write, set your intentions.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're like, what does that mean? And how exactly, what does that look like? So I think that's one of the really confusing things sometimes for new witches is when they say, and then you set your intentions for that. And like, it's like, oh, okay, you know what that means. What Jamie did is an example of setting your intentions. It's holding something.
Yeah.
It's speaking on it. It's telling this, what's in this jar, what its purpose is. And there's no right or wrong words with that. It's what comes from your heart and your soul into the
whatever
thing.
you think or feel.
You don't have to find a spell or you don't have to do any of that. This is like you're speaking from your heart and you're holding this. And you're going to do that. So
because it's so hard to see, but I'm literally just writing on there love and gratitude for the little label that I want to stick on the jar. Like, say I don't get to this for another week or two. I want to remember what it is that my thoughts were. I didn't cut that quite right, but I just use cut up scrap paper and washi tape.
Scrap paper and washi tape.
I don't like buying labels. I think they're ridiculous and they never stick.
They're so
it's
cute,
just.
though.
Yeah, find
but then they don't
ones
come
that
off.
stick, and there's a whole problem with that. So no, because I change all my stuff out pretty frequently, except for this guy. He's like 4 years old. He's been sitting in my cabinet. I'm just look at this Mod Podge job of taping him on there. There you go. That's it. That's all. He's creative.
So when you get around to spreading them around your property in a week or so, or whenever that is, because it's sometime in the future, you're probably going to say something as you're doing it.
I'm going to be thinking about it.
You're going to be thinking about it and probably just kind of like scattering them.
Yeah. Because for protection circles, if you guys have ever done a protection circle around a house or anything like that, when you're walking the line of the property or the property in a circle, each time you toss something out, you're sort of thinking about it as that thing, like you're spreading little love hearts. You know, you can imagine like the kiss emoji. You can imagine whatever you want that means that represents love for you. Like, what does that look like as you're throwing
protection
it out?
or whatever it is you're doing?
Yeah.
Whatever the thing is that you're.
You know, for some people,
whatever the energy is that you're trying to
put out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The intent and the energy, intention.
Energy and intention. Yeah.
Energy and intention.
Visualization is good, but if you can't, pick words that really feel the thing for you. You know, whatever, there could be a word that really has like a deep, strong feeling. And that way you don't necessarily have to use, you know, your mind's eye and vision stuff. You just say that word over and over again. So if you can say protection and it's like, we say protection. But you could say like protection, like you give that word life onto the ground as you're putting things onto it, you know, that feels like it's strong and full of protection. I was thinking of like nails and stuff that were like stopping something from crossing onto the property, but
an imaginary wall, fence, whatever.
I do bubbles. I'm so girly with that. I don't know. I don't get all dark and like, you know,
I'm the one that's dark. I'm building a wall with a moat.
Yes. I have like a
that's my dark
light around me. Mine's all happy and shit. People can walk through. They're like, "Oh, I feel better."
Not me. I'm a moat with alligators and a drawbridge. So it's like not getting
venomous snakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. Oh my god.
So we got dark and light here.
There you go.
And that's my kid.
And that's,
Okay, so the
Very
next
clever.
demonstration is this little guy right here. So I think you guys can see it. You can see that pretty good, right? This is a jar. Somebody gave this to us. I think I got one too. So it has salt in it and some herbs and things. It might be
there's
some
definitely
lavender.
lavender.
There's lavender in
Mhm.
here, but it's like a spell jar. But it's never. So these are beautiful things to give to people. But when you get something like this, you're like, okay, now what do I do with it? Well, what you do with it is you decide what you're going to do with it. Like you decide
what purpose it gives you.
You're going to give this a purpose.
Yeah.
And so for this time of year, because where we are in the year, we're early in the year, and we want to like look ahead to say, what kind of things do we want to accomplish in this year? That's kind of like the planning season that we're in right now. Like, what's our long-term goal? Capricorn was that season for like looking ahead and planning long-term goals.
Now this is like little seeds. So you have the planning where you didn't act, but now this is like a little seed, a little thing that you can do a little action.
So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to give this the intention of like this jar. I'm going to tell this jar that this is going to be my friendship and community. This is going to be about friendship and community. This jar is going to remind me that I want to make connections in my community and I want to make friends. And it's something that I personally need a reminder of because I'm sort of like, I sort of keep to myself.
We're little hermits.
Well, you know, it's as you get older, it is harder to make friends. But I'm going to tell this, I'm going to put my intention into this, that this is my reminder that this year I want to make more witch friends. I want to build my witch community. I want to meet people. I want to bring people into my circle and I want to get into their circle. I want to find people that are my vibe to join my tribe, right? So I'm going to tell this and I'm going to speak it to it. Like, this is my reminder. Every time I look at this, every time I see it, it's my reminder to talk to people and to be paying attention. Like, where's the witch at? Where's the witch wearing the moonstone? Where's the girl wearing the moonstone or the crystals or stuff like that? She's probably somebody that I could relate to. So strike up a conversation. So that's what this little spell jar is going to be about. Friends and community, and that's the purpose of this. And so I'm going to, every time I see this, I'm going to put this somewhere, and every time I see it and every time I pick it up, it's going to be a reminder to me that this is what I want for this year. Is I want to make more friends. I want to grow my circle. Mm-hmm. And that's all it takes to take an inanimate object and turn it into something with intention.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. And I think that is like one of the hardest things with New Witches to understand. It's like, well, just exactly how do you do that? You literally like, okay, so if any of you were religious, if you remember like going to church and praying, and you had because I did this, I was raised Catholic, so we prayed a lot. But you know, it's similar to that, where you're speaking to the universe or to your spirit guides or the ancestors, or whoever it is, or out into the universe, just into existence, what you want this to be.
Mm-hmm. I like it as a representation.
That's it.
I always need reminders to call friends, get together. I get so caught up in my own life and then I miss it. You know, the time goes by and I was like, damn it, why did I not invite more people over? Why did I not do a thing?
Our lives get so busy.
We get busy
that our lives get busy, and then we have to deal with all of the crap that life throws at us. And then we're stressed out about it. And I'm speaking of myself, because I have a really busy job and it's very stressful some days. And by the end of the day, it's like, I don't have the energy to go down to my girlfriend's house down the street who wants me to come over and have a glass of wine with her. You know, she's asked me for like 2 weeks, come over on Friday. And I'm like, Friday, I'm like wiped out on Friday. So it's the reminder to take the time. It's the reminder of what I want. Like, I want more friends. So that means I got to put the effort out there. Yeah. I got to jump in the shower, change my clothes, maybe wash the week off of me, and then go down and with a bottle of wine and talk to my friend down the street and start to build. Better. I will feel better, and I'll start to build a relationship, because relationships take time. It's not just like go have drinks one time and then you guys are friends. Yeah, these things you have to build up. You get to know people. Yes. So
I agree.
Okay.
All right.
Enough of me rattling on.
No, it's not rattling. It gives a good point to I like what you said about it's what I want, you know? Mm-hmm. So I have to remind myself, this is what I want. I'm lacking that. And we're able to call it into our lives by doing the actions.
Right.
You know, by actually putting ourselves out there.
Intentions are followed by actions. That's or else they're just wishes. and dreams. Yeah. that you don't manifest because you don't do the action. So that's the other thing that we can remind new witches of, especially that are listening to this, is that you can do the spell, you can set the intentions, but if you don't follow through with the actions, then you're not going to manifest what, the new friends or the love or whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your life.
All right. Well, with that, talking about love and new friends and things, but love specifically,
because this is the time.
It's a good time for it. Imagine like if there was all this birth going on around, when a new family member, a new pet, when there's new little life, I think everybody just gets euphoric about that. And like, everybody's so grateful. Like, it's such a blessing. And because Imbolc is really seen as that rebirth or birth time, love is a big part of that. I think it brings people together more when there's new life that comes into the world. So for myself, one of my rituals that I do with my husband, and I practice feng shui, you guys. So this is also a feng shui thing. We have matching side tables and then bookshelves. And that's part of being like partners. When you have feng shui in your room, you line things up to match because you want partnership.
Well, also her bedroom also happens to be in her love gua, that section of her house.
It does.
And so in a love gua, you always want pairs of things because
if you want to be in a relationship,
if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to be in a threesome, you might have 3 of things. Poly, what is it? I don't know how to say the word where people have someone else. There's like 3 in it. For me, 3 is a crowd.
I was thinking polyamorous.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it's called because I don't. But anyway,
I don't know.
I was going to say. So love gua, and also like when you're thinking about you're trying to manifest relationships, it's always pairs.
Always pairs.
Always pairs.
So I have my match, and he is perfect for me, and I love him, and we have a great relationship. So this is not about working on a relationship. It's about honoring a relationship, but it could work as anything that you want it to. So what I do to honor our commitment to each other, our relationship, is every year I buy us matching candles. And normally when we do like, date night or something where we're at home or we drink port in our bedroom, we light the candles. I wasn't going to say sexy time. I wasn't going to say that because it's not always sexy time. It's just together time.
It's intimate time.
It's creating the romance that doesn't have to lead to sex. That's what it is. So it's not about the sex acts. It's about companionship and being together and enjoying each other's time.
I just made the Tony face.
Scorpio is trying to go down a different rabbit hole. Pisces is getting dreamy over here, okay? Mm-hmm. So I do buy us matching candles. Now, last year, our life was hectic, so these candles are not yet burnt out. And actually, his has been burned more than mine. So that lets you know that I just had a lot going on. We didn't get to spend as much time doing our, alone time watching TV, drinking port, just like chilling together, cuddling, whatever, like just chilling together, chill time,
spending time. Yeah.
So we need that so much. So
every relationship needs that.
You all need that.
Yeah.
You need that with yourself too. Alone time for myself. But we're talking about the relationship side of this. So these 2 candles are from either side of our rooms, mine, his. And since they're not gone and I'm not wasteful, I'm not going to toss them out and buy new ones. I have to rededicate them because that's what I feel like I want to do and what I need to do. So I will actually take these 2 candles and set them with 2 other candles to charge them with a rose quartz between them. And just the same thing that we did earlier, where it's like you're holding the 2 pieces of the puzzle, or you're holding something and you're saying like these 2 things belong together. And when these fires are lit, this is where warmth, communication, and happiness like endures throughout the bedroom. It would be something similar to that. Just to reignite kind of the spell that I put on these candles in the first place. So, my husband and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We both think it's a joke, a huge marketing thing. We would never go out to eat on that day. We don't buy each other gifts. We're like, our life is great most of the year. We don't feel like we need to do anything on Valentine's Day. We kind of, I don't know, we joke and point at other people probably. So
sorry for anybody who really loves Valentine's Day.
It may be a great thing for other people, but for us, we're like, no.
I know Valentine babies, so they're really disappointed.
Oh no. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't take it back, but it's just not my thing. So instead, we do stuff throughout the year. But this is the time of year, because I don't do a lot at the beginning of the year. You guys know it's crazy hectic. But now for the beginning of February, now I'm ready to set intentions for things to come. Now I'm ready to do that. And that would be what these 2 candles represent. So you may be asking yourself, all right, well, these aren't going to last all year. What will I do? In June, for the holy crap. Midsummer. No, midsummer. The longest night of the year. The summer solstice. Longest day of the year. Now I'm all flustered. The longest day of the year, midsummer, that is actually our wedding anniversary. So I will use these candles little by little until I know I can buy ones at that time and then charge them with the midsummer sun. That's what I will do. So it doesn't always go as planned. Usually we would have burned through these in a year and I replace them every year, but it didn't happen. So I got to make them go another 6 months. So that is for in an area of your house that you want to imbue with something using a candle. Fire energy is so good. It just, the action of fire energy just goes. Yeah. So being able to light something or put a red element there that represents the fire element, if you don't like to do candles, that has your intention on it. Literally triangle, red triangle, right? Fire, write it on there and then stick it somewhere that you want to remember. This is the energy that I want to bring into my space. So I do it with actual candles, but you can do it with like a red triangle with your intentions written on it as well. We're over to you. Okay. I felt like I talked a lot.
So the other thing that we do this time of year is we might be refreshing our tools or getting new tools because this is a time for what are we lacking? So we did when did we do that? Like the second or third week of
January 8th.
January 8th, we did our year ahead spread. Me, the three of us, me, Jamie, and Jolene, we did a year ahead spread, and we realized that when we went to do this, that we really didn't have a cloth big enough to fit over the entire table. So we played musical chairs when it was time to read. Whereas with this, so we got a new, this is a new tool. It's just
new altar cloth.
Just an altar cloth, So this is a time if you need some new tools, maybe think about getting some. What are you missing from your? Just get one thing. Yeah, just one thing.
I don't buy into all of the shit that they can sell you for witchcraft because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of it's so pretty. But if you buy, you don't use it, you don't need it. It's a whole thing. So do your practice a little bit and go, it'd be really helpful for this.
Or just something like if you really want it. I do that too. I have so many books and so many things. I'm like, oh, they're really pretty. I haven't really used them yet. But I still
look at the best of us.
So you don't need a lot of stuff, but you do need an altar cloth. I mean, most witches need an altar cloth at some point.
I like having an altar cloth. Yeah.
If you're doing a spell, it's nice to have a place to put your stuff out on where everything's got it. It's got a.
I do most of my stuff outside, and then when I go to other people's houses and I read cards or do anything for that, I like to have a space that's set up that's mine. So if I spill candle wax on it or if my, sage drips and burns, it's mine. It's fine. It's totally, so that's really why altar cloths for me, ever since leaving the Navy, because in the Navy, I had a little bunk. I didn't have any of this stuff, you guys. I worked talk about minimalistic witchcraft. Yeah, it was really minimalistic. But when I got out and I could spread things out and have a space for myself, altar cloths became my best friend. I just love them. I probably have 5 or 6. Yeah. And I just change them out throughout the year, they're in a little drawer and I just go for the one that I like. It's like picking out your favorite underwear for the week.
Your underwear for the week. I'm scared of you.
Yes. No,
you're not going to wear the same. Oh, you're going to like the Monday. Does anybody remember when they had the underwear that had Monday, the days of the week on them? Do you remember that when you were a little girl? Why? Oh my God, that's so old. I don't even know, but I know some girls, some ladies.
We were about changing our underwear. We had
to
we're still in our Monday underwear on Wednesday. What happens?
I don't know, but I'm sure somebody remembers. This has got to be the 80s, maybe.
That's so
when the underwear had Monday or Tuesday or whatever.
Maybe it was just trying to teach us the days of the week. I don't know. It's like having alphabet underwear. You just sing your ABCs.
I always like pretty underwear. So, that it had a pretty stitched embroidery thing on it, whatever it said. That was cool. But I don't know. I just thought of that. That was so
funny.
It. Okay.
What made you think of that? Different altar cloths?
I don't know.
Because I said line them up like days.
Line them up. That was it. And that was the underwear. You had like 7 pairs of underwear with Monday through Sunday on them. And so you're like, oh no, it's Wednesday. It's the pink panties that I wear today.
It's hilarious. I have mine in lines like in my drawer because I'm so OCD with, everything. And that's what it's like. That's a week worth of underwear. So they're in these little, in my drawer in little lines tucked together.
Okay, so she's so weird. So this is what I do. They come out of the dryer and they go in a wad in a drawer, and I don't really care because I'm like, I'm going through them anyway.
That would
so like,
drive me crazy.
No, I don't care.
So you just like reach in there like it's spaghetti, and you're just like, oh, and then
like what color looks good?
No,
they're either dark or light. Am I wearing white jeans or am I wearing jeans?
Mine are literally color coordinated. Okay,
that's her Navy days. Okay, in addition, so the Navy made her probably more OCD than she already is. She literally listen. She rolls her stuff up. Her clothes are folded like in little square. They're about this big.
They do teach you how to fold very well. Yes.
They teach you how to like
get a lot of. Take up a lot of space.
You can't take up a lot of space. So
now you're doing it. And I feel like I need to fix it. Don't spark my OCD while we're on camera, Mom.
Okay. What else do we have to show? What is the tower about? Okay.
This is just a tip. This is fluorite, you guys. And fluorite, for me, find your own meaning for it, but fluorite for me diminishes our ego, which means that we see things less with our human brain and eyes, and we will see and feel things more with our heart and our intuition. And so I have fluorite around me. I have it when I do my readings, and I have it in my bedroom, but only on my side, not on my husband's side. He may need it. I don't know. I never thought about that. I really only try to balance myself out. But this is another thing for my bedroom that every year when I do my candles, I want to remember that a relationship is not about who's in charge or the battle or whether there's fairness. It's not about that. It's about trying to love each other in the best way that we can for whatever each other's going through. So this goes with my candles when I charge stuff, because it's the crystal that reminds me to not be too selfish, to not be too hard on him, to not be hard on myself when we're going through something. Last year was really hard on us. And this would be really dusty if I hadn't put it in a bag and brought it over here, because I haven't touched it since last year. And that's abnormal. Normally I would have charged it or done something, pulled it out, and for me, even showing you guys tonight, this is again a reminder of what's truly important to me. And it's to have an honest relationship with my husband, that like, even if he's doing bad or I'm doing bad, we talk through it. And it's not about getting what I want or what I need. It's more about how do we help each other, accomplish that same thing. So having fluoride around, especially during this time, is to push things forward in a way that is more aligned with your higher self rather than like your ego. I want more money. I want a car. I want, I don't know, the shit that people want that's trivial and you can't take with you. This is more about what experiences do I want? How do I want to help people? How do I want to change the world? What kind of light do I want to be in the world?
I just bought a really nice big piece of fluorite. That gives me a great, yeah, I did.
Yeah. I don't buy a lot of crystals like this, you guys, because they're not necessarily cheap. I have a lot of like small stones that I can carry. This is something that sits up that really reminds me. It's big enough to like say, hey, and I have it with pictures of my husband and I in different times of our relationship, because we've been together almost 11 years. That's crazy. That are just these special times that it's like, remember what you're doing here. It never becomes so hard that you need to fight for something. Like we're in the fight together. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling about it, but it just helps me get out of my own head, because I'm in my own head a lot. Damn Pisces shit. I just realized that's such a Pisces thing to say, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
And you have some black tourmaline there?
Okay. So my black tourmaline, I actually got Kat and Jolene and I 3 pieces. I can't remember where the hell I was or why. I think it was North Carolina. Yeah, in North Carolina. Oh gosh, I love going up to Asheville so much. They have great stores there. So every year I try to recharge this to mean protection, and I have it next to my bed, because for a lot of my life I did live in places that weren't necessarily safe. That I went to bed at night and I was like, wow, anything could pop off in the middle of the night. I still have anxieties about that, from being in Iraq and Afghanistan and different places.
Or living on a ship. I mean, you're in the middle of the ocean. Anything can happen. You got 5,000 people on a big ship.
Yeah, there were things. But so what this helps me do is I keep this next to my bed again. This is like on the shelf away from me, but this is next to my bed. And it helps ease my fears about stuff that's not real. Like my sister and
monsters.
the monsters in everybody's closet.
Yeah.
It's just the things that are not real for me. You know, with my son having epilepsy, sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm afraid to go into his room because what if he died in the middle of the night or something? Fear. This where I want to take away those fears that I have that do me no good to really ruminate on them, you know, bad dreams, whatever it is. This is the stone that I use for that. Yeah, the worries. So, and I guess the reason this is relevant is because as we're trying to plan for our future, as we're trying to put that intention out there that's all positive and good, if we start letting a lot of fear, like, oh, what if that happens? What if this turns out bad? And what if we meet people and nobody likes us or some crazy stuff?
Well, we
right?
sometimes spend a lot of time thinking about the what ifs and the future
or the worst
and the
case
things that we
scenarios
can't control.
Yeah. So that's what my tourmaline, when I program it, that's what it does for me. And I randomly carry it in my pocket on days. It sits with all my jewelry, all the rings I have on, my bracelets, everything. It sits in that container. And so there are some days when I look at it and I'm like, ooh, I need you today. I don't know why I need you, but I need you. And I'll put it in my pocket. It does shed like a black kitten. So, you know, you find little shards of it in your pocket, but I just think that that's part of the, you know, the company of it.
The charm of it.
Yeah. It'll eventually wear down into something else. But that is all of the things I think that I use in my own practice that you won't find in a book. There's not like when they talk about this stuff in books, they give you practices that are great, but they're really big ideas.
Yeah.
Like everything we gave you tonight, we hope is small enough for you to do or think about and incorporate in your own way.
These books from Llewellyn.
Yeah. It's the series, you know.
Yeah, there's a series of these. They're really
all
great.
8 holidays.
All 8 holidays. So it's Llewellyn's Sabbath Essentials is the name of this. Sorry, you can't see it because it's the glare. But there's 8 of them for each of the holidays. They really do have some good information. Like I'm like, ooh, I think I got the idea to make some rosemary bread from one of these books.
Oh yeah, you did. Yule, right?
Yeah, for Yule. So they do have good things on them, but it's true that some of the practices or rituals that they are kind of like, if you don't vibe with that, then what?
Right.
So I guess the then what of what we're saying is the then what is what does this holiday mean to you? What does this time?
Yeah.
What does this time mean to you? You know what we told you what the energy around this is. It's the fire holiday. It's we've made it through the winter and we're going to get to the summer day. So we're preparing for that. And we're kind of in the beginning of the year where we can think about what do we really want to accomplish? What do we want out of this year? I want friends. I want to expand my circle of friends.
Nurturing my relationship.
Yeah.
Protecting myself from my fears and thoughts. Letting go of my ego so that I'm not too selfish in things.
So those are really simple things that you can do.
A blessing for my yard and my property.
And if you get flowers for Valentine's Day, definitely save those and dry them because they're.
So a good thing to say is that all of these things that we showed you guys tonight, you can do it any time of the year. There's no wrong time to do them. What I find is the most infuriating thing in books like this, if you actually spread all 8 of them out together and you looked at a little section that says, what is the energy around this holiday? Do you know most of them have things like cleansing, protection, divination, transformation? So basically every holiday is for things like that. Yep.
It's I think
it's a good time to do any of those things.
I think what it's saying is like all the time is the time to do any of these things based on what your needs are at that time and what's going on in your life and what kind of comfort you need or what kind of energy you're trying to bring into your life. If it's new friends or growing your relationship or improving your relationship with your significant other or whatever it is.
That is why I think that's why at the beginning of this, I really wanted to tell you guys, make the celebration your own.
Make it your own. Yeah.
Find ideas, find things that you like, but make sure that they mean something for you. It's like, I've already been thinking about that. Boom. Then Instagram or Pinterest, you know, you're scrolling and all of a sudden there's a thing for that. And you're like, hey, I was already thinking that.
Like I didn't think when I bought that bathing suit like a week or so ago and got it, I was not thinking that this is how it happens for me. I just do things. And then later on I reflect on
you realize,
oh shit, that matches up with the energy of the season right now. So perfect.
Yeah.
I'm in tune. I'm in tune.
Or a little ahead of the tune. That's okay.
I'm always a little bit off. That's my Scorpio.
We probably all are. The other thing that Kat and I are doing is like we're planting. So we're in Florida and it's, January, February now. We're planting our garden.
This is the time to
So
get
it
things in
feels
the
weird.
ground.
Yeah, in
This
Florida.
is a time to get things in the ground here
Yeah.
and get them established before it gets really brutally hot.
You know, it's interesting. Our winter where things don't grow is really summer. Have you ever thought about
What
that?
is summer? Hell?
Summer
is
can be very difficult here.
Summer is a time where you're like, I just want to be by the pool.
You just have to be near water. That's
you
it.
just
you
gotta
have to live near water.
Yeah, you got to be by water.
Like
that's
in it all the time.
You're in
Everything.
water or you're in AC. That's about it. And then hopefully you're getting enough rain or you're out there watering your plants so they don't all die. So
That's
anyway,
why you give them roots now.
So I think that's it. And
yes. If you guys have any questions or you want to know about anything else, or if there's something that we showed you too fast, you can let us know in the comments because I've been keeping
there's
track
more
of
stuff.
that.
Is there more?
No, I've done it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, we try to divide up jobs, and I'm not always great at mine, but I was looking, and it was Mary Begots from Tracy. Tracy said
Mary Begots.
the Mary Begots are the children who are
She's a Mary
conceived.
Begot.
I'm a Mary Begot. Do you guys know what my mom was gonna name me besides Jamie? Do you know what my other name was gonna be? You ready for this? Carrie.
Keri.
Yes. So is this the face of a Jamie or a Carrie?
It was not. And so when she was born, and we had two names picked out.
The moment.
But as soon as I looked at her face, I was like, that's a Jamie. I knew immediately that her name was going to be Jamie because she looked like a Jamie.
Well, I told you what Cameron's name was going to be if he was a girl, right?
I don't think I remember that.
Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Either Charlotte or Cameron.
I like Charlotte.
I know, me too.
That's cute.
Now it's becoming popular, which is weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Charlotte.
All right, you guys. Well, we've kept you for 45 minutes. We hope we have
Yes.
given you some ideas of what you can do over the
Yes.
course of the next 6 weeks or so.
And if you do, then let us know.
Yeah, tell us what you did.
Yeah.
And remember to make this season, like all the seasons, your own.
Thanks,
and do the
Melissa.
things that that you connect with and that you need in your life. All right, you guys.
All right.
Thank
Melissa,
you for being with
Tracy, Joellen, hi.
Bye.
Give me like, miss you guys. All right. We will see you all in a couple of weeks, I think. We're still working on our scheduling stuff.
I think we're going to
yeah.
see you next Thursday. We just don't know what it's about.
Next Thursday.
We're
yes.
supposed to do lives on Thursday.
We're going to get better. We promise. We're working through some stuff.
Yeah,
but-
we're working
all
through
right.
things.
Enjoy your holiday time. Let us know what you guys do, and we will catch you later. Bye.